Good morning. So first of all, I'm going to do a sound check. So just to check that you can all hear me. And at the moment, I have got the music on as well. I will turn that off in a second. But just can you hear the music in the background? It'd be nice to know for the music volume levels for in a minute. And then can you hear me clearly? Please do check in. Say hello on the comments so I can know you're here, which is really nice. And then, I forgot. Lovely. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Susan Hayhurst. Good morning, Kath. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Kirsty. Good morning, Thelma. Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Lulu. Good morning. Thank you, Claire. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Kathy. I can never pronounce your name. Is it Daxa? Good to see you here, Daxa. Thank you. So you can all hear me clearly. What we're going to do is wait a few more minutes just to check in, because we might have people trying to find us on this different page. We're not normally on this page. So we'll just give that a few more minutes. Good morning, Alison. Good morning, Linda. Lovely to see you all. So we are checking in at the moment with my voice level. And also, can you hear the music in the background, which I am going to turn down in just a moment so I can talk to you a little bit more clearly. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Valeria. Good morning, Lucy. Good morning, Judith. Lovely to see you all. Okay. Yes, Daxa. I'm glad I pronounced your name right. So I'm glad you made it on here. Who else we got? Good morning, Ruth. Good morning, Judith. Lovely to see you. Okay. Good morning, Gillian. So let me just turn the music down. Okay. Good morning, Jenny. So thank you very much for joining me this morning. Those of you who have been on our live site, we've been having classes for the last 3 weeks. We've been busy in a way with putting a whole library together of classes. We've been putting together tutorials. We've got a workshop with Jo upcoming this Wednesday night. She's running a normal 2-hour workshop. That is going to be on the Plus side page. If you've got any questions about where to find this, all the details are now on the website. You can find and book the next 6-week online classes, which we've got sorted, and we've got Jo's workshop as well on Wednesday night, which is really exciting. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning. Who else have we got there? Jennifer. Good morning. So you can find all the details on the website of what we've got planned. Like I said, we've been busying away with lots of videos and tutorials. We've got a whole library there to put together for you and what's going to happen for our next 6-week block, which will begin on time. We're keeping to our normal schedule, which is the 27th of April, which is a 6-week course, which is just after the day of my birthday. So we are going to have to, we've realised that was actually, I'll let you into secret, that was actually my 50th birthday on the Sunday, on the 26th of April. So we will have to delay that and have it. We had a big party celebrated, planned at the studio with a band and everything. So we're going to look forward to seeing you all there when this is, when we're all back allowed out and everything. So today, good morning. We've got a few more there. Good morning, Marissa. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning, Helen. So I'm going to run through the somatic Pilates flow, which I was teaching on when we were at the studio. It's normally been the session that we've done on Monday, Tuesday and Friday mornings. It has had a little bit of a jiggle while we've been online, but it's a lovely flow from head to toe all the way through, and a lot to do with spiraling and opening the posture. So we begin with the eyes. So it'd be nice to just recheck in with you how the eye movement and the neck movement is really important. It stimulates the vagus nerve, and I am going to do a whole workshop on the vagus nerve. So many of you will know about the fight, flight or freeze response, and if not, just have a research, but I will go into that another point. But in terms of coming out of the fight, flight or freeze response, it's the vagus nerve that we need to stimulate. And often to come out of the fight, flight or freeze response, many people talk about just taking deep breaths, which is useful, but sometimes it can exasperate if you're just taking lots of deep breaths, that can also exasperate that panic response. the fight or flight response. Taking a deep breath in and holding the in-breath is sometimes recommended as well, which can work. What is also really useful is breathing all the breath out and holding the out breath. And it's called a reset breath. It's to do with the CO2 carbon dioxide levels in your body and how that works, and your body, it stops that panic response as well of having to gasp and take that air in. Often holding the breath in, while it does work, just stimulate that freeze response, sort of like a held in breath. So that's really useful to notice. The other thing that stimulates the vagus nerve is everything around the face and eyes. So when you think of connection, which is really what we want to be doing now with what's happening, is about reconnecting with people. It's the look and the softening in your eyes. It's that, when you have that, when we talk about that small smile, the corners of your mouth, it's eye movement. It really does actually, because when a baby is born, it's that open eyes. And it's peripheral vision that looks around. Those of you who do the dance know that we work a lot with peripheral vision, and it makes sense, because if you think looking straight on is definitely predatory or fight or flight and response, the minute you widen your field of vision and you look around, it does soften you into safe space. Everything's safe, and it's being able to see the bigger picture, very literally. So when we're in fight or flight, we're not seeing the bigger picture. It's very directed. So, and then the eye movement. So today we're going to be doing a lot with this eye movement, and then the neck movement also will stimulate that vagus nerve into that rest and digest safe space. So that's where we're going to begin with the eye. We are also going to be working on the rotations of the upper arm, which has a lot to do with the posture and your upper body. So notice that when you rotate the arms, it's not just to do with the palm up, palm down, because this can be rotated from the elbow. It is to do with the upper arm, which then has a whole movement change in the upper body. So we've got this spiraling of the upper arm, which then gives us the ability to take the arms up. Often people are stuck and jammed in this forward movement, which will then, even if your hands turning that way, the upper arm is rotated, and then to be able to lift the arm, and this is why people struggle with this range here, is being able to bring this rotation back to be able to get the arms up above. We've then got, if you've not done these sessions before, we've then got a basic somatic arch and flatten. So the arch and flatten, if I was to do it sat down, you can see this slump, which is a flexed position. And then as we were to come all the way up, this is an arched position. So lying down, this is an arch. I'll move my hands. So we talk about arching that, and you're really pressing into the tailbone and feeling this squeeze into your back with this deep breath in. And as we press the back down, that's a flexion. We're not clenching the buttocks, and there's this contraction in the abdominals. So we're going to work through, if you hear me talk about arch and flatten, or happy puppy tail and sad puppy tail. So how is my voice doing? Can you hear me okay there? And then the other rotation that we're looking at then is the hip socket, and a lot of knee problems are caused because we don't have this rotation in and out. It's not even just a bent knee, so we're looking all the way through from head to toe. So we are going to begin, as we always do, well, not always, but we are going to begin with a somanorte scan. So a somanorte, soma is your internal experience of your body, and a somanorte comes from the word astronaut. I don't know if it was Jill Hedgley or think of who coined that term. But a somanorte is your internal astronaut that explores all the way through the sensations. And it's a bit like a musician or an artist. The more you fine-tune those details in your sensation, the more attention you give it, the more information you will receive back over time. So it is a practice. So sometimes people don't notice that much, but it's about giving that practice and noticing. So we're going to begin when you're all ready. If you've cleared yourself a space on the ground, I do verbally give instructions, so hopefully you might not need to look at me too much, but if you do, just glance up at the screen. But we're going to start lying down. Okay, so good morning if you've just joined us. Find yourself your space, lie onto your back, ideally without any head support. Okay, with your legs straight, arms by your side, palms up, and we shall begin. So lying onto your back, take a deep breath in. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a deep sigh of your breath out. This time take a deep breath in, and then sigh all of your breath out, and then squeeze more air out. And when you have all the air out, hold your out breath as long as you are comfortable. And then just let that return. Scanning through your body, where is the weight of your body distributed? How much weight do you have resting in your legs and your heels? In relation to the weight in your head. How much weight do you have resting in your head in relation to your chest? How much weight is resting in your chest in relation to your pelvis? And how much weight is resting in your pelvis in relation to your heels? The weight in your heels, is there more weight in your right leg or your left leg? Is one foot flopped out and turned out more than the other? Can you sense your toes? One toe touching the next toe, or the spaces in between your toes? And how much space is underneath the back of your knees? And is that the same between your right and your left? And the weight in your hips, is that even between your right and your left? And the weight in your pelvis, is it tipped more towards the tailbone or tipped more towards the small of your back? And how much space is in the small of your back? From the spine in the small of your back, travel upwards and find the first vertebra that connects to the floor. Which of those bottom ribs are connected to the floor and which create the small of your back? And when you gently breathe, is there any movement in those ribs? And where is the weight of your chest? Is it on those bottom ribs? Is it mainly on the tops of your shoulders? Middle of your back? Is it more right or left? How much of your upper arms connect to the mat? From the spine between your shoulder blades, travel upwards and find the first vertebra that leaves the mat. When does your neck begin? How much space underneath the back of your neck and the mat? And where does the weight of your head rest? Take another deep breath in through your nose and blowing on a flute. Squeeze a bit more air out. Every breath in through your nose, stretch through your fingers, open your palms, and as you breathe out, sink your breastbone and turn your palms downwards. Breathe in, lift your palms upwards, lift your chest, arch your low back. Breathe out, sink your breastbone, navel in, press the small of your back into the mat, palms down. Breathing in through your nose, continue that movement with the palms and your spine, breathing out, palms downwards. And then you're going to develop that movement that's just happening with the palms turning up and over into the whole of your upper arms and your shoulders. So roll. And as you breathe out, palms down, the little fingers lift and the back of the hands come in towards the side of the body. As you breathe in, your arms roll further away from the body as you keep spiraling the palms. So you may be breathing slower or quicker than me, but your arms are rolling like rolling pins on the ground with you breathing. As your arms move away from the body, you breathe in. And as they roll towards the body, breathe out and you scrunch your shoulders up by your neck and your head tips back. So spend a moment sensing that breath out as the arms come towards your body, back of the hands close in, scrunch your shoulders, tip your head back. And then notice what happens on your in-breath. On your in-breath, begin to slide. The elbows are off the ground. Maybe your fingertips are just touching. Take the arms even higher on the ground. Slide them overhead. So the palms will be downwards. As you breathe in, the chest is lifting high, arching the back. Can you take the arms all the way overhead on the in-breath? Your chin is in. And this starts to begin to feel like a whole body movement. So as you're breathing in, you're arching the back, reaching through your toes, reaching through your fingers, and as you breathe out, that's Rocket Dog. She wants to join in with us. Round. Keep that going. So we should now be savouring a full body, like a morning stretch. You could be going much slower than I'm going. We're just going to do a couple more. Really savour the deliciousness as this full body squeeze as you reach. And make this your last one and rest with your palms downwards. Roll your head from side to side. And release. So one leg, wave the foot in and out. So the toes come inwards, a bit like pigeon-toed and Charlie Chaplin. But like we do with the shoulder, this is coming from the hip socket, so high up in the leg. Notice if the space underneath the back of your knee increases. What rotation? Can you turn the foot in more or out more and let it flop? Let's repeat with the second leg. Toes in and out. In. Okay. So leave that foot turned out, draw your heel up towards your buttock and leave that knee flopped out. And just spend a moment, how much space is underneath the back of your knee and the ground of the bent knee? And of the straight leg, how much of your buttock is lifted off the ground? This will show you how much you can extend and open into that hip socket. Deep breath in as you blow out, pelvic floor, navel in, lift that bent knee, sole of your foot on the ground. So we're working with one bent knee, one leg straight. Breathe in and arch the back, press into your tailbone, blow on your flute, pelvic floor, navel in, press and flatten the back down. Breathe in to arch the back, press into your tailbone, blow on your flute, navel in, press the back down. So we're focusing mainly on the lower body, but you may find that your head is doing a little nod. If this is happening, just allow it. Just check you're not pushing through the bent leg foot, and the straight leg is surrendering. You're not holding any tension in the top of that straight leg thigh. And then release. The bent leg, you're now going to push through the foot so that buttock lifts off the mat as if you're going to roll all the way onto one side, keeping that bent knee pointing straight up on the vertical line. If you're not sure, have a look. And then roll that back down. And again, so we're going to push and then we're going to look the opposite way to where you're intending to roll. And flop down. We're now going to use the same arm as the bent leg. As you push, we're going to do that same rotation of your shoulder as you look at that hand slide up on the ground as if you're going to roll over. And coming back down. Lovely. And again, push and really squeeze in. How far can you stretch with that arm? Over and roll. Let your eyes watch your hands. So if you remember we talked at the beginning about the eye and neck movement, look at that hand, let your eyes follow it for as long as you can, turning the head nose into the ground. Roll all the way back. And again, roll. Reach, 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 reach. So there's a rotation of the shoulder and an opening of that hip of the bent knee. Keep it up on the vertical lines. Really reach. See if you can feel this opening. It was working through into the psoas, the hip flexors opening. We've just got one more. Lovely. And release. Lovely. Let that bent knee flop out to the side and roll your head from side to side. Same arm as the straight leg, float it up in the air, vertical line. Reach as high as you can, looking away from the arm in the air. And let it release down. So the leg that's straight, see if you can keep that hip on the ground, heavy and surrendered, no effort. Reach as you breathe in, breathe. How many ribs can you get off the ground of the arm that's reaching? Turn, desire, sense higher. One more. And return. Both hands on the ground, palms downwards, both legs straight. Just give your head a roll from side to side. Just check in with your pelvis, get your shoulders comfortable, and just sense the difference between your right and left side. Remember, like an artist, we're fine-tuning our sensory feedback for more information. Let's go with the other leg, rotating in and out. Keep that foot turned out. Slide your heel up to your buttock. Pause for a moment and sense if there's any difference between this side and your other side with how far that hip can open, how much space behind the back of the knee and the ground, and how much of your buttock is on the mat with the straight leg. Breathe in, blow on a flute, lift that leg, sole of the foot on the ground, working with one bent leg, one leg straight. Breathe in, arch, press into your tailbone, blow on your flute, pelvic floor, navel in and press the back down. Breathe in the same as we did on the other side. Slow, savor your breath. There's no weight in the bent leg. And the straight leg is surrendering. There's no tension in the top of that straight leg thigh. Really squeeze, lift the back away from the mat. and release. So now we're going to do the push through the bent leg foot to lift your buttock off the mat. You look in the opposite direction and turn your palm up. And come back. So the same leg as the bent leg reaches away as you look away from the way you're turning. Keeping that leg up on the vertical line. It will eventually, the leg will eventually come with you, but see how long you can, and there's a real reach and squeeze. Eyes, engage your eyes and notice what you can see around your room. Look at your finger, then look beyond your finger at what your fingers reach into and round. Babies instigate and learn their first movements with their eyes. It's a natural organic move, desire of what's happening in the world around them. So really soothing to your nervous system is to connect outwards, see what's around you. Sense your breathing. Savor it and really enjoy it. Reach into it. Squeeze. And that's your last one. Your palms are down, the knee falls out. Roll your head from side to side. Same leg as the straight, same arm as the straight leg, lift up, turn the head, reach on the vertical line. Keep the straight leg buttock relaxed and down, lift the ribs coming down. And again, as you reach, breathe into the ribs. Breathe out as you come down. Let your eyes look as you turn. See if you can see the floor. Focus. And then see if you can see what's on the ceiling. Turn your eyes and look close vision what's on the ground. Last time. And release. Both arms by your side. Both arms straight. Both legs straight. Just scan through your body, fine-tuning sensory feedback. So begin with the first leg again. Rotate the foot in and out. Slide the heel up towards the buttock. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lift the knee, put the foot on the ground. Arch the back as you breathe in, make it bigger. Blow on your flute, keep the low back pressed into the ground. Keep your abdominals squeezing, bring the bent knee into your chest. Wrap two hands around the bent knee and squeeze in. Keep the straight legs surrendered. Tuck the chin in, breathe out, lift the head an inch. And then bring the rest of your spine up towards, such your breastbone, not your head, you're aiming towards the knee. Breathe in. As you breathe out, keep the chin tucked in. How many vertebrae can you imprint on the mat? Reduce the space underneath the back of your neck. Same hand as the bent knee goes on the ground. Opposite hand comes diagonally across that knee, and you're going to draw that knee all the way down to the ground. So I'm going to have my back to you, so that if you do need to see, the hand is going to drop behind your back and you're going to roll your nose right into the ground. So this bent arm is right up your back with the back of your hand on your waist. If you need to look, just check what position I'm in. So I've got my knee on the ground, nose into the ground, and I'm looking how much range I've got in my hands. So I've got my back of my arm up on the ground. We lead the movement with your head. Turn with your eyes, look with your eyes, look behind you now, rotate your palm, you're rotating your spine, rotating your palm up, don't strain the shoulder joint, and roll back, nose into the ground, hand on your back, rotate your palm upwards, right, eyes follow your hand overhead. Just do a couple more of these. Reach. If you can, go all the way around. If you feel comfortable, go all the way around. Last time. And then stay on your side and bring both knees up. I'm just going to turn around now so that I can see you, but you stay exactly as you are. Okay. So exactly as you are, get yourself comfortable if you want to adjust if you've got cushions handy, you've got your knees up, okay? And then squeeze your top knee into your chest. Hold your ankle. Breathe in. As you breathe out, draw your navel in and drop your knee down back behind you. So there's a few things happening here. The top shoulder, I want you to allow to drop back, but you're keeping the pubic bone connected so you're not extending and arching the back. Draw your pubic bone up towards your breastbone so you're maintaining neutral spine, so we're getting a stronger stretch on your hip flexor. Breathe. Can you hear the music there all right? How's that sounding? Bring that knee up. And then hand in front of you, straighten that top leg. Okay. So we're going to see how far we can get that back leg beyond the midline without arching into your back. Breathe in. As you breathe out, keep navel in, drawing your pubic bone to your breastbone. See what your range is behind you, and I call this sandwich move because you're using this transverse abdominis vacuum pack, but you'll be squeezing your glute, your buttock, so it feels like a sandwich. Now lift the leg and circle, and again circle. So how far can you get that leg back and behind you? So it's not about the size of the circles, although they can go bigger. It's about how far you can take that leg back behind you while you're keeping this support of neutral spine. And then leave the leg there. Straight leg, how far can that leg go behind? Breathe in, breathe out, bring your heel to your buttock now, but again, pubic bone to breastbone. Bring that knee up. As you straighten your leg, check you've not round and flexed your back. Remember those moves we talked at the beginning? This needs to stay in neutral, so it should feel like a stronger hamstring stretch. Take that leg around. Heel in towards your buttock. Knee up, breathe in. Breathe out to straighten. Breathe in, breathe out, heel to buttock. Breathe in, breathe out to straighten. Breathe in, breathe out, heel to buttock. We're nearly there. How are we doing with this one? So all the time, this is not about really what the leg's doing. I mean, it's about the hip flexor, but it's about, can you maintain neutral spine so your spine isn't flexing and extending as you do that. Keep that leg straight so I can see the soles of your foot. If you're pointing this way, tip your toes towards the ground a little bit and lift a teeny bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring your knee in, squeeze. How's that feeling? Are you still with me? I'll have a look in a minute so I can check in with you. So 2 straight legs. Okay, so with your 2 straight legs, have a look down and check that you can see your toes, because it's better to be slightly forwards than too far back. Somebody's pulling on your top leg and you're holding the ground in front of your belly button. Lift your top leg a couple of inches, bring your bottom leg up to join it. Underneath leg comes down, top leg higher, breathe in, underneath leg comes up to meet it. Underneath leg comes down, top leg even higher, underneath leg comes up, leave both legs up, breathe both legs down and up, both legs down and up. Lovely. Keep using this hand to support you. Check that you're not flopping forwards on your hips. 3, 2, 1, and release. Lovely. Flop over and onto your back. Just give your pelvis a wriggle from side to side. Your fingers and your hands, just close your eyes and just sense your right and left. Just stay there with your eyes closed. Lovely. So how are we feeling? We're going to do the other side. Can you remember which leg you haven't done? So let's turn that foot in and out. You'll soon remember if you know which leg it is. Turn that foot out and draw your heel. I'm not doing right or left because it can be confusing. Breathe in, breathe out, lift that bent leg. Okay. So again, we're working with one leg bent, one leg straight. Breathe in and arch. And as you blow on the flute, keep your low back pressed into the mat. Stay here, feel this squeeze in your abdominals, navel in. Bring that bent knee into your chest. Wrap 2 hands around your knee and squeeze. Surrender that straight leg. Don't hold any tension in that top thigh. Tuck your chin in. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the head an inch. And now curl your upper vertebrae up one by one. Breathe in into the ribs in your back. As you breathe out, keep your chin tucked in. Feel vertebra by vertebra going down. Reduce the space underneath the back of your neck, chin tucked in. Lovely. Same hand as your bent knee goes on the ground. Opposite hand to bent knee goes diagonally across your body, and you're going to draw that knee all the way down to the ground. At this point, you might have a memory of whether you've changed sides or not, okay? So I'm now facing you. Roll your nose into the mat and let the back of that hand, if you remember what position was when I had my back to you, hopefully you can remember the pattern, the shape that this hand makes down your back. As you can see, my nose is right into the ground. Your eyes move first, look to the ceiling, turn your head, turn the palm upwards, slide the back of the hand on the ground, see if you can see your hand behind you, and come back down. Lovely. There's a real reaching with the hand. There's this rotation of your upper shoulder joint, opening the front of the chest. Sense your eyes looking around the space. Sense your breathing in. It's this real yawning, waking up stretch. If your hand will go all the way up and over, off you go now. All the way over. And roll. Hand lying onto your side. I'm just going to roll over now, so I'm still facing you, but I'm on the other side. Okay. So either with a cushion, your arm bent or your arm straight, bending both knees up. Just sense that you haven't slumped and flexed into your low back. You're in neutral spine. Bring your top knee in, holding your ankle, and the main focus on this is your pubic bone to breastbone connection, navel in, neutral spine. Breathe in, breathe out, navel in, pubic bone to breastbone, neutral spine, maintain. How far can you get that knee back? Top shoulder drops down and back. Bring that knee in. Hand in front of your belly button, top leg straight. Imagine somebody's pulling on it so it's a lift. Same again, pubic bone to breastbone, neutral spine. Breathing out, how far can you take that leg back? This is a sandwich move. Your transverse abdominis, but you will also be squeezing your glute and your butt. And it's extending. How much extension can we find? And lift the leg and circle. Lift the leg and circle. Lift the leg and circle. So the circle can go much bigger, but it's about how far you can find that back movement while it's not coming from your back, it's coming from the range you have available in your hip socket to take it back while you maintain your pubic bone to breastbone. And last one, hand in, use your hand to lean into, take that leg back, breathe in, heel to buttock. Maintain that, lift the knee up, straighten the leg. Now you're looking at a different position in your back, neutral spine, you're not flexed and rounded. Sweep that leg, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, heel to buttock. Breathe in, knee up. Breathe out, straighten the leg. Breathe in, sweep it round, heel to buttock. Up, round, neutral spine. You may focus, it's not what the leg's doing, it's what your core's doing here. Neutral spine. It's not that it's wrong to flex and extend. What we're doing is practicing stabilization. And leave the foot. Tip the toes downwards. Up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. And then straighten both legs. Look down, see if you can see your toes. It's better to be banana shaped slightly forwards. Rest into your hand. Lift the top leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Underneath leg squeezes. Underneath leg comes down. Top leg higher. Underneath leg squeezes. Underneath leg comes down. Breathe in higher. Breathe out. Both legs are high. Both legs come down. Both legs come. So the trick to this one is your top leg is having a rest. Top leg is having a rest. Can you make the underneath leg do the lift? Just checking. I have to learn to speak quietly because my head mic is right down. We've got a new system here for the mic. So I'm hoping this sounds okay. So both legs are going up. And last one. And release. Lovely. Flop. And flop onto your back. Rock your pelvis from side to side. Okay. So we're going to do what I call the snow angels move. Okay, so this is not a rotation of the upper as such. You're going to aim to keep the back of the hands on the ground all the time. As you slide them on the ground wider, you bend your elbows and you bend your elbows lots, and you're aiming to keep as much of the arms on the ground as you can as you make your snow angels. So they're not lifting away, the back of the hand stays on the ground. There is actually, to do this effectively, some upper arm bone rotation, but we can go into that later in time. Okay, so your snow angels. See if your back of the wrists touch the mat at the ground, and then you're going to bring your hands all the way up and round and link your fingers behind your head. Okay, so while you're cradling your head, keep your head completely still. Look to the right as far as you possibly can, one side, and now take your eyes all the way to the other side and rest. Take your eyes to look at your eyebrows, look right up and look right down. Take a deep breath in. Open your jaw really wide and sigh. So breathe in again through your nose. Lift your chest, tuck your chin in, arch the back, and as you breathe out, sink your breastbone. Lift your head and hands an inch off the mat, elbows are wide. Press your low back down. See if you can curl more vertebrae up off the mat. And keep the breastbone down as you roll, chin tucked in, roll yourself back down. Okay, we'll do another one of those. Press your elbows into the mat, arch the back as high as you can, breathe in, chin tucked in. As you breathe out, sink the breastbone, press your spine down, lift the head an inch. Now curl all of your upper spine up, navel in. And come back down. Let's go for a little bit of a challenge. We haven't really warmed up that much. Let's see if we can do this one for this. Let's go. Breathe in, press your elbows down. Breathe out, sink the breastbone, press down. And we're going to curl up and we're going to let the hands come away from the head, up, reach, up and over. Put the hands back behind the head. If you're not there, just land yourself back on the ground. You don't have to be up here. If you are up here, your hands are back on behind the head and you're flopped. Otherwise, you're lying flat down on the ground. Push through your two sit bones, grow tall on the vertical line. And we're going to go all the way down. Curl under. Let your arms release. And then as soon as you can, put your hands back behind your head. Flop one foot out, draw the knee up, and then sole of your foot flat on the ground, knee bent. Repeat with your second leg. So you've now got 2 knees bent, knees and feet hip width apart. Press the elbows into the ground, lift the chest, breathe in, breathe out, sink the breastbone, lift the head an inch. We're coming up, curl up. We're going to stay up here, up, up, up. Bring one knee into your chest, 2 knees into your chest, 1 hand behind the back of your thigh, 2 hands behind the back of your thigh. Push your thighs into your hands strongly and begin a tiny rock. Now the thing that's important in this rocking is the back rock, so you use your lower abdominals to curl your low spine up off the mat. Rocking. If this is not comfortable and okay on your back, please don't do it. We just go less. We can break this down. And then if you can, without putting your feet on the ground, come up and hold and find your balance. How are we doing? Place your feet on the ground, soles of your feet together, flop yourself forwards. Stay as you are, head down. While your head is down, savour your nose breath in and breathe into the ribs in your back. Open your back. Lateral breathing, 360-degree breathing. And then rock your buttocks from left to right. Settle them in the centre, belly evenly balanced. Push through both of your sit bones and grow tall on that vertical line. Lovely, well done. So, thumbs on the insides of your insteps. Let's peel those feet apart. And then return. So what we're going to do now, it doesn't matter which foot, one foot you're going to bring and cross in front of the ankle. I'm just going to change position, you don't need to do, so you can see me better. So we've got the heel touching the front of this leg here, and then we've got your other hand away. So we're going to open up this hip socket so you can put the hand on the back of that thigh and lift the buttock and sit back down. Lift the buttock and sit back down. So we're spiralling. Now the next part of the move is not just your hip, it's the arm. So see if you can turn that crease in your elbow right round so the turn comes from your shoulder as you come down. And then the next move is, this is your owl move. Your eyes look all the way behind you. How far? And let's see if you can be your owls. Look all the way around, turn the shoulder, turn the arm. How far can you see behind you? Have you managed a 360-degree view of that? All the way around. Remember the shoulder and the arm turning. Breathe in as you come round. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out as you come back down. Lovely. So from here, move your hand a long way away. That makes it easier. Okay? It does make it a lot easier the further away it is. So you've got to lean on. Are you ready? Can have the hand on the top. We're going to practice with lifting your hip an inch. Breathe in, breathe out, come up an inch, and come down. So there's no weight on this thigh, but there is on the foot. Okay? So there's no halfway in this point. You're either going to go for it or you practice your little lift. Okay? 3, 2, 1, up and over. Squeeze your inner thighs and come down. Breathe in, breathe out, up and over. All the way down. And again. Lovely, well done. And come up, bring the soles of your feet together. Holding your feet, let's butterfly. Lovely. I've seen quite a few more new people joining as well. We've been there. Lovely to see you. Okay, so we'll do the other side. I'm going to turn again. So putting that one round. Okay, so the first part is this lifting the buttocks, keeping that knee open. Drop them down. So feel this rotation start to move all the way up through your spine. And then remember to add the elbow and pivot that upper arm, shoulder. And then we're going to add the eyes and head, the owl movement. Look behind you. What can you see out the corner of your eyes? Breathe in. Let your eyes lead the movement. How far can you go around? And again. And all the way down. All the way down. We do one more. How's that feeling? Breathe in. And down. Okay, so this is the hand a long way away move. Okay. Hand on top of the knee. Breathe in to prep. Just lift your buttock an inch. So there's no weight on that knee, but there is on the foot on the ground. So this is good enough. This is where you're at. This is good enough. This is all you're going to do. Okay. It's easier if you're preparing to do the full thing. You have to go commit, because halfway is the wobble position. If you're going to go all the way over. Ready? Hand a long way away. Breathe in. Breathe out. Up. And come down. Breathe in. Squeeze those legs together. 2 more. 1 more. And down. Bring yourself up. Soles of your feet together. Rock. And then bring your knees together and let your head flop. Push through your 2 sit bones all the way up. Wrap your hands around. Breathe in, breathe out, roll halfway down. Relax your shoulders. Check it. Breathe in, breathe out, one hand. Come back, other hand, up, breathe out, arm up, other arm, both arms up. How are we doing? Down a little bit, and all the way up. Rest your head down. Savour your breath into your ribs in your back. Pace of every weather, look within. Don't forget you are surrounded by. Slide both your legs straight. Hands underneath the back of your knees. Press your knees straight into your hands. Slide your shoulders down your back. Draw your chest a little closer towards your knees and draw your body a little closer towards your toes, chin tucked in. Push through your 2 sit bones to make your low back feel like it's getting longer. Slide your chest towards your knees. Draw your shoulders down, shoulders back, lift your eyes, look to your toes, draw your breastbone up, coming all the way up to sitting. Lovely. Bring one knee in. Okay. And then from here, find your hand underneath your foot and your hand around. Let's just cradle. And start easing down. Rest your leg on your thigh. Press that knee down and draw your knee and push your knee upwards. And let that ease off. Hold your little toe and the toe next to it and pull it apart. And the next two toes apart. And the next two toes apart. And the next two toes apart. And then palm to the sole of your foot, little finger between those two toes, and then see if you can thread a finger between every toe. Lovely. Lovely to see those of you who've joined us. We've got Dee, hi Dee, hi Louise, hi Donna, hi Linda, hi Mike, hi Marilyn. Lovely to see you. So with a finger between every toe, circle that around. Change direction. And then leave your fingers between your toes and scrunch your toes like you're trying to squeeze your fingers. So you feel that, and release. And again, squeeze. And release. Take those out. Thumbs on the sole of your foot, on the arch, all 8 fingers on the top, and ring the dishcloth move.
I'm a rebel, so rebel.
And then put your heel on the floor, fingertips into the ball of your foot, thumbs on top, press all the toes down, but you're also going sideways. So you've got a longitudinal arch and your transverse arch. We're trying to press into this to get your foot to arch around it. So press. Have you got any cracks and clicks? Then draw all 5 toes back. And then fingertips into the ball of your foot. Grow tall, sit up. And then push. Keep drawing your shoulder blades back. Push.
If you're not happy, then you must be blue. You must be blue.
And then foot on the ground. Wrap your hands around your knee. Physically push your knee, your foot into the ground and cuddle. And release. Let that knee drop out. And slide that leg straight. Let's just wave your feet and jiggle your knees, and then just sense the difference between your right and left after you've done that. There's a big difference. And slide the other one up. Hand comes underneath. And then rocking.
If you're not living good, I beg you.
This is all into your hip socket. And then lay that on your lap. Hand pushes that knee down and the knee pushes up, 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 up. And release. So your foot, take hold of the little toe and the toe next to it and pull those apart. Work your way through all of those.
Let them talk.
I won't sing too loud because I know that you're right near me. I've got you all here next to.
Did you hear what they said?
And then place palm of your hand to the sole of your foot, little finger between those 2 toes, and then finger between every toe. If you've got more toes than fingers, what that means is you can't get your fingers between all your toes. Take it in turns. Take your finger out between 1, 2 toes and then put it back in the other one. And then scrunch all your toes into your fingers. And release it off. And again, squeeze. And release. Take those out. Thumbs onto the sole of your foot, and then let's do the ringing the dishcloth. Okay, so this reflex point here, you've got in reflexology, the whole of the inside of your instep here is for your spine. Just wringing that dishcloth out. And then place your heel on the ground. So your fingers come into the ball of your foot and they press upwards. So you're trying to develop that arch of your foot, that bridge. You've got two arches. Most people know this one, but you have a second arch here. So press all your toes down, but also with the outside edges of your thumbs, draw the big toe and the little toe down. Good morning, Thelma. Good morning, Christine. There's a few more. I don't know if you joined us back again. And then pull all 5 toes back. And then fingers back into the ball of your foot. Grow tall, lift and push. Keep your shoulders drawing down and back. Push. And placing that foot down, physically press the foot into the ground. Give it a cuddle. And ease that off. Let that knee fall out, hands behind you. Slide the leg straight. Let your feet roll in and out. And then jiggle the knees. And then bring yourself up. Grow tall. Push through your 2 sit bones, just rock. Okay. And then reach with alternate arms. And then what I want you to sense is the arm that you're reaching with is that side is pushing down, not coming up. And then change, push. And then both arms, breathe in, blow on a flute, draw your navel in, reach forwards, flop your arms, drop your head. Now you're not leaning back, you're pushing through your 2 sit bones so that your lower back feels like it's growing tall while you engage your abdominals. Belly button comes in to grow tall on the vertical line. And then we're going to get ready to ease and lie ourselves all the way down. Stay as you are, hands behind the back of your head. Breathe in, breathe out, curl down. If you feel that this is becoming too much, you just let go with your hands. You let your hands go forwards. If you can, you keep your hands behind your head all the way. Return your hands if they were behind your head. So keeping your hands behind your head, keep your eyes open. Let your eyes look to one side and see what you can focus on. Leave your eyes at one side. Focus. Take a deep breath in, yawning. Let that release. Take your eyes the other way. Stay for a moment. See what you can actually look at. Deep breath in. Let your arms come out by your side. Just settle yourself down now. Rock your shoulders from side to side. Palms up away from your side of your body. Let both your feet roll in and out, pigeon-toed. Okay. And then keep your head still. Let your eyes look to the right. Now let your head turn to the right. So you now can see the floor at the further side of your right eyes. Keep your head still. Look to your left. Turn your head all the way to the left. So you can see the floor out of the corner of your left eyes. Keep your head still. Look to the right. Turn your head all the way to center. Looking to the ceiling, look your eyes upwards towards your eyebrows. Look your eyes down towards your cheekbones. Now circle your eyes in a big circle all the way around. One way and then the other way. And then close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, in. Hold your in breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep sigh of your breath out. Let's take another deep breath in, holding your breath while you relax your ribs down. Take more breath in, hold while you relax your ribs down. And then final breath into maximum capacity. And all the air out. Where's the weight of your body distributed? How much weight do you have resting in your legs, in your heels, in relation to your head? How much weight do you have resting in your head in relation to your chest? How much weight do you have resting in your chest in relation to your pelvis? And how much weight is in your pelvis in relation to your heels? Any changes from the beginning? Noticing the weight in your heels, is there any difference between the right and your left? Is one foot turned out or in more than the other? Can you sense your toes touching the next toe or the spaces in between? Any changes from the beginning? How much space is underneath the back of your knees? Any differences between right and left and the beginning? The weight in your hips between the right and your left. The weight in your pelvis, is it more towards your tailbone or the small of your back? And how much space is underneath the small of your back? From the spine in the small of your back, travel upwards and find the first vertebra that touches the mat. Which of those bottom ribs touch the ground and which are lifted to create the small of your back? And when you gently breathe in, is there any movement in those bottom ribs? And is the weight of your chest on those bottom ribs or the tops of your shoulders more right or left or central? How much of your upper arms are connecting to the mat? Any changes? From the spine between your shoulder blades, travel upwards and find the first vertebra that leaves the mat. When does your neck begin? How much space underneath the back of your neck? And where does the weight of your head rest? Sensing a space between your teeth, allow your jaw to fall on the vertical line. Relax your throat and your neck. Turning the corners of your mouth into a tiny smile, smiling sensation in the corners of your eyes, smiling sensation in your heart, smiling sensation in your belly, and take a deep smiling breath in, radiating that smile all the way to your toes and your fingers. Contented, sigh your breath out. Sense that smile in your eyes. Take a deep, smiling, full body breath in. Contented, pleasurable sigh of your breath out. And again, feel the deliciousness of that smile into every cell, stretching, reaching through fingertips. Contented sigh, wriggling your toes, waving your feet, ankles, making one leg grow longer than the other. Release. Other leg longer than the other. Release. Arch and flatten your pelvis, make your pelvis go in circles as one leg grows longer than the other. Feel that movement go up your spine, into your shoulders, scrunch your shoulders, reach long through your fingers, roll your head, roll your wrists, and then give me a whole body yawn and stretch and wake up. Alternate legs. And then roll yourself onto one side. And then push yourself up into sitting. So just before we complete, I'm just going to show you a way to get up and off the ground. So like we did in the previous session, so if you've just earlier on in the session, if you put one foot in front of the other with the knee down, what we can do today is actually just bring that foot a little bit higher towards your knee. We've got two hands on the ground. And just like you did earlier on, if you remember, what we did is we picked the hips up, okay? So there's no weight on this leg, if you remember, but there is on the foot. So you're then going to pivot, press the feet down and pivot on the feet and bring the knees up and come down, okay? So you're ready? We're going to go to the pivot. So you come up, pivot, and you can walk back and down. So this is how later on we can practice this. Okay, up, and you can use your hand, arm if you want, and you're coming up. And good exercise, good sign of how mobile you are is how easy you can get up and down off the ground. Okay, if you want to repeat it to the side. But thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the session. I am going to stay here for a few more minutes just to say hello to you all, and thank you ever so much for joining me. This session will be left on this page. You're welcome to share it. I'm going to leave that open for everybody as a gift, so just so you can have that session open for everybody to use. I'm just going to turn the music down a little bit, and then please do. Thank you very much. Let me just turn that down. Thank you very much. So lovely to see you. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Thelma. Thank you for joining me. Hope you've really enjoyed that session. So I know we've had the dogs wanting to come in and join in as well. So, so Thank you, Alison. Thank you, Daxa. I hope you've really enjoyed that. It'd be lovely to have your feedback. Do comment and say hello. It's such a gift to know that you're there and what you're receiving from that and how much you've enjoyed that as well. So please do comment and just check in and say hello. The session, like I said, will be left there, up there for you to view. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Gillian. Thank you, Jenny. I think I saw somebody else and they disappeared. Hi, Anne. It's a long time since I've seen you, Anne. I hope you're doing well and I hope you've enjoyed that session. It'd be lovely to speak to you, Anne, and see how you found that session. Thank you, Susan. I'm glad you found us. I think I was looking for the other Susan actually as well. We've got two Susan Hayhursts. I've been trying to bring her onto this side. So thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Judith. The sound was brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Felt like I was in the room with you. I'm glad that that's working. Okay, so the workshop, okay, how you find the workshop is you can pay for that online. So if you've got any problems, I will link. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a link at the bottom of these comments so you can find the workshop. It is going to be put up on a page. It's going to be on the website and it is going to be on a page on its own on Facebook. We have been looking at lots of different platforms to offer these things on, you know, from Zoom, which we are going to be using at some point because it's on my website, to all sorts of things. But Facebook is at the moment the instant thing that we've got people without too much technology changeover. So I will put a link on Thelma for you. It is on the website. You may be able to find it there if you go into book online. And then it says group service and you will find Joe's workshop to book and pay for that. So it's going to be about a 2.5 hour workshop. So I've got a page specially set up for that. So thank you, Thelma. Thank you, Kat. Oh, we've forgot. So who else have we got? A few more that we've come up there. So thank you, Judith. Hello, Helen. Glenn says hello. Hello, Glenn. Thank you, Maggie. You know, it's a lovely stretch. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thank you, Jennifer. Hope you really enjoyed that. Hello, Ruth. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy, for joining us. I'm glad that's feeling much better. So thank you, Clara. Thank you, Kirsty. Good. Thank you very much. So it's it's one of my favourites at the moment for all the rotation that's what's going on. So we'll see what's happening. We might put another one up there for you, but that's going to be left there for you too. You can welcome to share that as a session. The other ones are on closed pages. This one's open. So it's a beautiful sunny morning out there. It looks absolutely gorgeous. There was a frost this morning on the ground. I'm going to go and walk the dogs now. I'm going to get out there into fresh air. So thank you very much. I will see you soon.